class 8. So this is your SST lecture, and today we will read the third chapter of SST in geography part, that is natural vegetation and wildlife. Okay, natural vegetation and wildlife. So open page number 131 of your book. Kindly open page number 131 of your book. So now we will start reading the chapter. First of all, we will read about the learning outcomes. What we will learn in this chapter, the learning outcomes. By the end of this chapter, you will be able to define the natural vegetation and wildlife, highlight the interrelationship between the natural vegetation and wildlife, describe the distribution of assess the role they play in our lives, and list the steps that can be taken for conserving natural vegetation and wildlife. Okay, now VAM. Now we will read about VAM. Think and discuss. We have to think and we have to discuss that. These days, reports of violent confrontation between humans and wildlife have become increasingly common. Elephants seen flooding crops and tigers are attacking cattle and humans. In retaliation, the animals are being trapped and killed. Why do you think it is happening? Who is at fault here? Have the animal turned rough or the human action responsible for the situation? What is the solution? Think about it. Have a debate and discussion in class. Hint: deforestation, loss of habitat, increasing population, need of land to grow crops, encroachment, necessity, hunger. So now you can see that the tigers are roaming in the street and they are attacking the people, or elephants are destroying the crop. We have heard this many times in the news. So why all this happen? Why the animals are doing that? The animal has become more violent. More violent? No. Why this is happening? This is happening because we, the human being, are responsible for that. We are doing deforestation. We are cutting down the trees. So where the animal will go? If we will just snatch the homes of animals from them, so where the animals will go? So it means the animal will roam in the street. So who is responsible for this? Animals are responsible or the human beings are responsible? According to me, I think that the human beings are responsible for this, because we are cutting down the forest to build the buildings, and that the population is growing day by day. Day by day our population is growing. So we need more land to grow crops. We need more resident area. So we are cutting down the forest. We are cutting down the trees. So where the animals will go? So think about this and you can write the answers in your rough. Natural vegetation and wildlife play a vital role in maintaining the ecological balance on the earth. Naturally, vegetation refers to the plant life that grow naturally in an area without any human intervention, whereas wildlife refers to undomesticated animal life found in any region. The natural vegetation and wildlife found in a region are determined by various factors. Main among each are climate and topography. Difference around the world in these factors have given rise to the various biomes. So what does it mean? Natural vegetation and wildlife. The two important terms are natural vegetation and the wildlife. They play a vital role, an important role in a natural cycle. Important role in our natural cycle. Or you can say that natural vegetation and wildlife maintain the ecological balance on the earth. Without wildlife or without natural vegetation, it is not possible to maintain the ecological balance on the earth. So different type of plants are there, different type of animals are there, and they require a special area and a special climate for their growth. For example, polar bear. You have seen the polar bear. The polar bear are mostly found in the hilly area, the cold area, where snow is there. It is not possible to colder where skin requires a cold temperature, and it is not possible over here. Yes or no? So different type of animals are there and different type of plants are there. They require a specific climate, specific soil, specific habitat for their growth. Okay. Interrelationship between natural vegetation and wildlife. Natural vegetation and wildlife are depending on one another for their survival. Let us see how. Plants are depending on animals and animals are depending on plants. So they both are dependent on each other for their survival. Plants are capable of producing their own food. They are the producer and are known as autotrophs. You all know that very well. Plant prepare its own food by its own process. That process is known as photosynthesis. Animal can produce their own food and depend on plant directly and or indirectly. Animal depend on plant directly or indirectly because animal cannot prepare its own food. Animal cannot prepare its own food, but plant prepare its own food. And animals are dependent on plants. Animal अपना खाना खुद नहीं बना सकते. That's why they are dependent on plant. Somewhere they are directly dependent on that, and somewhere they are indirectly dependent on that. You all know that very well. They consume directly or indirectly their food. They are the consumers. Animals are the consumers. They are called heterotrophs. The animals which are eating directly the grass or the leaves, they are the heterotrophs. The balance in the ecosystem is maintained through a definite food chain wherein one organism eats other as in return consumed by another organism. Herbivorous feed or producer, carnivorous feed herbivorous, and omnivorous feed both the producer and the consumer. You all know that very well about the food chain. You have learned about the food chain in your previous classes, in your junior classes. That for example, this is a plant. Okay. I hope this is clear to you. This is a plant. And a goat is eating this. Okay. The goat is eating the plant directly. And a lion came. And lion ate this goat. So it can be a direct process also. Here the goat is eating the plant directly, and here the lion is eating the goat. So it is an indirect way to eat the plant. But somewhere we all are connected with plants. Yes or no? When the carnivorous and or omnivorous died, their remaining landed blend with the earth and became one of the key sources of nutrition for the plant. And when the omnivorous or carnivorous, omnivorous means that can be eat plant also and a flesh also, but carnivorous eat only flesh. And when omnivorous or carnivorous died, so their dead bodies get into the earth and they play a buried into the earth, and they play a very important role as a nutrition for the plant. So somewhere this is a whole process where we are connected with each other, and this is very important for maintaining the ecological balance of the earth. We are eating the plants. For example, the goat is eating the plant. The goat is eaten by lion, and the lion died, and his body just buried down into the earth. And that body, that decayed body, is very important for the growth of plant. It plays a nutrition for the plant. Okay. In this way, the food chain highlights the interdependence of living creatures. So both the wildlife and the natural vegetation are dependent on each other. If one component is not there, it is not possible for the other component to survive. Both the components, the natural vegetation and the wildlife, are very important because this is a cycle. We are eating the plant or the herbivorous animals are eating the plant. Herbivorous was eaten by omnivorous or carnivorous. After that, it also helped the plant. When they died, they helped the plant to get down the nutrition from this decayed body. I hope this part is clear to you. Now, natural vegetation. Natural vegetation, as we have learned, play a vital role in maintaining the ecological balance in a region. Plants release oxygen into the atmosphere and absorb carbon dioxide from it, thereby maintaining the balance of these gases in the atmosphere. You all know that plant release the oxygen and plant release the oxygen. We breathe oxygen, yes or no? And plant absorb the carbon dioxide. Forests play a role in regulating a global temperature. Nowadays the temperature is very high, so much heat is there. Why? Because we are cutting down the forest, and if there is no plant, so how can we imagine that the trees can help us to maintain the temperature? So for this we have to plant more and more trees. अगर हम ये चाहते हैं कि that जितनी हीट हो रही है, इतनी गर्मी हो रही है, वो कम हो जाए, तो we have to plant more and more trees. But we are not doing so. We are only cutting down the trees, but we are not planting the trees, and we all know that very well. The forests are the source of the product like timber, lettuce, resin, herbs, fruit, nuts, fuel wood, fodder, paper, gum. We all are getting all these things from the trees only, from the forest only. Okay, if you want all these things, the food, the vegetables, the nuts, the paper, the gum, if you want all these things, so we have to just plant more and more trees. Stop cutting down the trees unnecessarily, and we should plant. If you are cutting down one tree, so we have to plant one tree also. I have already told you when you were in the school time, I have already told you that just take a pledge that on your birthday you will plant one tree. I have told you this thing, that take a pledge. Today you can take the pledge that on my birthday I will plant one tree every year. The roots of trees hold the soil together and thus prevent soil erosion. So you all know that the roots are there and the roots hold the soil very tightly. अगर roots नहीं होगी, अगर plants नहीं होंगे तो roots नहीं होगी तो soil erosion होगा. The leaves they shed from a natural mulch and result in the creation of you. You all know that the dead leaves and the dead animals' bodies, they are very important for the soil. It gives a nutrition to the soil. Yes or no? Trees act as a shelter bed that offer protecting from the strong wind. The roots of the trees help in storing and replenishing underground water. It is very important. The trees give us a shelter bed to protect us from the strong winds. And the second thing, that it also helps for the underground water. Forests support a number of organisms by providing them with a habitat. Many of the animals live in forests. So the forest is providing the habitat, a home for the many organisms. Yes or no? Now, distributing of natural vegetation. The nature of vegetation found in a region depend on several factors like latitude, altitude, sunlight, temperature, type of rain, soil, moisture, and the slope of the land. Of these, the two important factors determining the growth of vegetation are the temperature and the moisture. The major vegetation type of the world, as we have learned last year, the grassland, scrub, tundra. Within each of these are the subtype. Let us look the main features of each of them. So, as you all know that our land is covered by different type of natural vegetation. Somewhere there are shrubs, somewhere like an Amazon forest, and in the desert part, the different type of vegetation are there in a different type of the land, because the trees require a special temperature. Most of the trees require a special temperature, the special soil, the moisture ability that is present in the soil. So on these factors, a plant grow. Every plant cannot grow on every land. A plant needs a specific temperature, the soil, a specific soil is there, a specific moisture should be there, so that this type of the vegetation are found in a different part of a What? Because in different part of our world there are different type of soil, different type of temperature and different type of moisture is there in the soil. Okay, so this is for today. In next I will continue in the next lecture. Thank you and have a nice day.